Hello students, welcome to online classes of geography. Today I am going to start your third chapter of your book India Physical Environment, and this is my first class with the third chapter. Now today the topics that I am going to discuss are keywords related to this chapter, the drainage patterns which is there in your syllabus, and classification of Indian drainage. Now let us proceed to the first topic, that is keywords. Now first of all you should know what is drainage. Drainage actually has been derived from the word drain, which means to flow. Drain, which means to flow. So what does drainage means? Drainage means the draining away of the water to different areas by river system. Drainage means draining away of water to different areas by river system. Now the next word that comes, what is then river system? Now you have seen that we used to say it's a Ganga river system, it's a Brahmaputra river system. So what does actually this term river system means? Now river system means it is a network of the rivers that is interconnected and which comprises, what does it comprise? It comprises its main river along with its smaller streams, we term it as a tributary, and the one which leave, that we term it as a distributary. So a river system constitute a main river along with its tributary and distributary, it is termed as river system, or in other way it is interconnected river network in area comprising main river, smaller streams, that is joining and branching off tributaries and distributaries from the main river. Next, drainage basin. Now a large geographical area drained by a river system. Now we all know, you have studied in class 9 also about this river Ganga. It originates from Gangotri glacier, and when it originates from there, afterwards it drains out Uttar Pradesh, then it moves to Bihar, then it's come to the edge of that Jharkhand, West Bengal, goes to Bangladesh, and then it drains out to Bay of Bengal. So all these states through which river Ganga is flowing, this entire area is considered as a drainage basin of river Ganga or Ganga river system. So hopefully the term is clear, what is drainage basin. Next, water divide. Now what is water divide? Higher ground separating the two adjoining basin into opposite direction. Now Aravali ranges. Hopefully you are familiar with this term Aravali ranges. We discussed in the previous chapter in the peninsular plateau part. Aravali ranges, it is actually that is the name given Aravali. It is also closer by to our capital, that is Delhi, that is our capital of our country. So entire stretch from that Aravali to Delhi, it is not a low lying area, it is bit elevated, it is termed as Delhi Ridge. Now due to this highly elevated area, the rivers which originated from the Tibetan part, basically near Mansarovar lake, the two main rivers, one is from that nearby that is glacier is our river Ganga, and another nearby that glacier is river Indus. So river Indus didn't move towards east, rather it moved towards west. Now why did it move towards west? Because when the Himalayas were in formation and after it formed out, when the rivers got its existence, originated, at that time this part was lifted up. That means this Delhi Ridge create a barrier between the two rivers originating from that glacier part. So due to this elevation, due to this wall, Indus went to west and Ganga moved to east. So this demarcation, this elevated part is termed as water divide. Hopefully it is clear to everybody. It is a higher ground separating two adjoining basin into two opposite. These are two adjoining basin. One is Indus basin and another one is Ganga basin. But it is being separated or demarcated by Delhi Ridge. Next, tributary. The small stream that joins the main river, that is tributary, and the channel that gets demarcated or that gets branches off or separated from the main stream, it is distributary. Next keywords, delta. Normally delta is there near the, where we find out delta, it is there near the mouth of river. Now where we get a triangular or a fan shaped landmass. Now why a fan shaped landmass has been there? Because due to excessive sedimentation over there, the main stream along with its tributary just channel out or splits out, and when it segregate or separate or splits out, what happens? Due to excessive deposition, it makes a that is branches, and in between we get a triangular like structure. In between we get a, so here you can see which is a triangular landmass which there near the develops near the mouth of the river, termed as delta. Now another landmass develops near the mouth of the river, that is termed as estuary. Now estuary is actually a funnel like structure, a funnel shaped landmass. Now this is a narrow channel like structure that just extends towards the mouth of the river. It's long arm like area, and estuary does not develops due to deposition, due to sedimentation. It is due to that erosional part. It is due to, not due to the deposition, it develops due to erosional part. Narrow channel develops, and it is a zone of highly elevated area, means comparatively it is a elevated portion, and due to elevation the deposition work is not there, rather it is erosion that has developed as a narrow channel through which the river joins the oceanic bodies or the sea. So that funnel like structure, the narrow channel, is termed as estuary. Next, riverine islands. A river island is an exposed land surrounded by river water. Now we studied about the island in the previous class. Normally islands are present over the oceanic bodies or the sea water. Now when the islands are formed due to excessive sedimentation over the river banks or the river beds, and it is encircled or it is being surrounded by the river water, that sedimentation, that silt group of landmass is termed as riverine island. The island that is developed by the sedimentation brought down by the water of a river. Braided channel. Now when entire stretch of river is having numerous type of river silt deposition, numerous or the various silt deposition land masses or riverine island, that entire river is termed as braided stream or braided channel. Okay, a single deposition of sediment is termed as riverine island or silt island, but when a whole stretch of river extent is having lots of silt deposition and many numerous or many numerous that is riverine islands, that entire stream is termed as braided channel. Now the last is catchment areas. Now catchment areas means from where the river gets its water or it's the source of river. So a river drains the water collected from a specific area. Now that specific area from where river collects its water, that is termed as catchment area. So these are the key words that we will come through this chapter. So I have discussed these keywords. Now let us move to the next topic. Now before going to the next explanation, you just see that there are some pictures I have I have put up in the slide. Now you can see this is a picture where we got the two streams. One is tributary, one is tributary. Two streams are there, one is tributary and another one is distributary. Now tributary, this is the main stream, okay. You can see the arrow, you can see the arrow here, it is the arrow and this arrow. This is the main stream and the small stream that is joining, this is tributary, and here you can see that branching off of the main stream, that this is distributary. Now you can see this entire is a river water. It's surrounded by this landmass, is surrounded by this river water. So what is the name given to this? This is riverine island. Now next you can see this entire river bed. This is a river, okay, and you can see these small patches over here. These small patches are riverine island or the silt island, and this entire stream is the bedded stream. Here the river is coming and just joining it to the oceanic bodies. This is the mouth of the river, and you can get this triangular structure over here. This is delta. Now the next picture, here you can see this picture. You can see this picture. This is the mouth of the river, and here you can see a funnel like structure. Here the sedimentation is not there. Here there is no such sedimentation. This is the mouth of the river where there is no sedimentation. Now when there is no sedimentation, this is the river. It's just a funnel like structure has been developed. This is estuary. This is estuary. This is estuary. Now next, here you can see this part, you can see it's a drainage system. This entire is termed as drainage system. Now watershed, you can see the two division. These are considered as a watershed areas. Now why this stream has moved to this part, why it has moved to this part, and why it divided into, it's a main stream, it's going out, it's a one stream, origin from the same one part, but one moved to west and another one moved to north. So this zone is the watershed or water divide region. It is watershed or water divide region, okay. And lastly, you can see over here, it's a watershed. It's a watershed. This is the watershed areas. Now here you can see it's an ocean where the rivers are joining, and before that you can see this winding of the river, S-like structure. It is meandering of a river. When river just move in a S-like structure, that is meandering of the river. Now next, again it's a picture of the water divide and it's a picture of the bedded stream. Now we will move to the drainage patterns. Now drainage pattern, first of all, the factors that influences the drainage pattern. Everywhere the slope of the land is not even or not same. So the slope of the land varies, so that is the reason the drainage or the river that flows according to the slope or following the slope, that is the reason why we are having numerous drainage pattern. Underlying rock structure, somewhere it is hard rock, somewhere it is soft rock. So where it is hard rock, it is very difficult to erode by the running water, and where it is soft, it is able to erode it quickly. So due to the underlying rock structure, the movement of the river water varies, and thus it develops different types of drainage pattern. And number 3 is the climatic condition. Somewhere the climatic condition is quite warm, a high rate of evaporation. Some places it is too wetty where it rains throughout the year. Somewhere it is hot where there is lack of rainfall. Some places it is extremely cold where the temperature is just to create a formation of the snow, means it's reaching to the freezing point, or it's just very less temperature. So due to differences in the climatic condition, the rivers which are flowing through these various types of climatic condition, the pattern of flow also varies. So these are the three main factors why we are having different types of drainage patterns, or in other way, the factors that influences the drainage patterns are slope of land, underlying rock structure, and climatic conditions. So now let us come to know let us come to get the information about what is actually drainage pattern. It is simply a arrangement of the river and its tributaries and distributary within a drainage basin, that is drainage pattern. It's an arrangement. Now next, types of drainage pattern. Now we are having in your syllabus there are 4 types of drainage pattern, but there are numerous types of drainage patterns that prevails in the different parts of the country. Now the first drainage pattern is dendritic pattern. Dendritic pattern is basically there to develop where the slope it's having a higher gradient and the surface that is a rock structure have uniform hardness. That means where the rock structure is uniform, the structure is uniform. Hardness means it is not so very hard, but it is uniform, and tributaries meet the main river like a branch. Now where there is a break of slope, that means where there is break of slope means I am just simply drawing a bit a part of it. You can see I am drawing a uneven structure over here. Now this uneven structure, you can find out this uneven structure, this is considered as a break of slope, this area is considered as a break of slope, this area is considered as a break of slope. So these areas are considered. So where there is a break of slope, what happens, the river originating from here, the tributaries joins the main river. The tributaries joins the main river. So can you see the picture? What does it resemble? It is resembling just like a branch. So it is giving a appearance as a branch like structure. Now dendritic has been derived from the word dendron. Dendron means branches. So it is also termed as tree pattern, tree like pattern. Here you can see the picture clearly. It is the main stream, consequent stream means the main stream, this is the main stream, and here we get the insequent streams, that means the substreams or the tributaries, here substreams and the tributaries. So it is making a tree like drainage termed as dendritic pattern, and river Ganga gives the best example to get this, means it shows the best example with for the dendritic pattern. Now next type of drainage pattern is trellis pattern. Next type of drainage pattern is trellis pattern. Now it develops where there is a alternate arrangement of the hard and the soft rocks, and they just lies parallel to each other. They lies parallel to each other. Hard rock, soft rock. In this order the arrangement. It is not a human arrangement. Naturally it is there over the earth's surface. Now tributaries meet the main stream with this making a right angle. Now suppose I am just drawing over here, you can see it's a picture of a trellis pattern. This is the main stream, okay, and the substream that joins, you can see it is joining, the substream is joining by making a right angle. Approximately it's just appearing as a right angle. So when such type of pattern we can see for any of the drainage system, it is following the trellis pattern, and river Narmada exhibits the best example. River Narmada exhibits the best example. Now next pattern is the centripetal pattern. Now centripetal means the thing that comes from outside to the center. I am just drawing it beside this, and then it develops a lake like structure. So these are the elevated zone. Comparatively it is a higher elevated zone, and the streams comes and discharge their water within this low lying depressed area, and as a result a lake is developed. So when such type of pattern is there for any of this river system, we term it as a centripetal pattern. Now Loktak Lake, you have studied in previous chapter, Loktak Lake of Manipur is formed with the help of this type of pattern or due to this centripetal pattern. Okay, so this is about centripetal pattern. Now the next is radial pattern. The last is the radial pattern. Now what is it? A drainage pattern in which consequent streams radiate out or diverge outward. Now suppose any of the, suppose I am just drawing a mountainous structure. You can see it is a mountainous structure, and a river has originated from this part and it radiates out. It not moving in, it is just radiating out to the different direction. So when any river radiates out with different direction, it is showing the radial pattern, and river Narmada exhibits a best example. Beside river Narmada, we are having other rivers too, like Son river, Mahanadi river. They just exhibits this pattern, that is radial pattern. So what are the four drainage pattern? Dendritic, followed by river Ganga and its tributaries. Next it is trellis. River Narmada is showing the best example for the trellis pattern. Next centripetal pattern. Loktak Lake gives the best example for the centripetal pattern, and lastly radial pattern. It is given by river Son, Mahanadi, even by river Narmada. It exhibits the radial pattern. So I have completed the four types of drainage pattern as per your syllabus. Now lastly, the classification of Indian drainage. Now Indian drainage is classified accordingly into three ways. Now the first way of classification, to which direction the rivers are draining out their water. Now the rivers are draining out their water. Now I am just roughly drawing the southern part of our country. Okay, roughly I am drawing the southern part of our country. Now the rivers which originated from northern part, that is northern mountains, they are draining towards this part. Some are draining towards this part. The rivers which have originated from western Ghats, they are draining to this part. Those who have originated from central highlands, they are originating or orienting to this part of our country. Now what is this? This is Bay of Bengal. This is Bay of Bengal. And what is this part? This is Arabian Sea. This is Arabian Sea. So on the basis of discharging of water, how many types of drainage basins are there? There are two types of drainage basin. Number one, the Arabian Sea drainage basin, and number two, the Bay of Bengal drainage basin. So hopefully it is clear. On the basis of discharging of the water, we are having two types of drainage basin. One is Arabian Sea drainage basin and another one is Bay of Bengal drainage basin. Now next, on the basis of the size of the watershed, drainage basin is classified into three categories. Number one, major river basins. These are large river basins which cover nearly 20,000 square kilometer of catchment area, and 14 drainage basins are there. All the important drainage basins of our country comes under this category. Medium river drainage basins, which is 2,000 to 20,000 square kilometer, and here we are having 44 drainage, basin. And lastly, the minor river basins. The minor river basins means where the catchment area is less than 2,000 square kilometer, and quite a number of rivers are coming under this category. So this is the second classification of the Indian drainage basin. Now let us move to the third classification of the drainage basin. Again just I am moving to the third classification by using this board. Now just see, I have drawn this southern part of our country, Arabian Sea. I am just writing the initial and Bay of Bengal. Okay. Now northern mountains, the rivers which are originating and draining out, that is from the Himalayan region, and there are many rivers that originate from the peninsular plateau. So the third classification of the Indian drainage basin is on the basis of origin, on the basis of its nature, and on the basis of its characteristics. On the basis of origin, on the basis of nature, and on the basis of characteristics. We are having two types of Indian drainage basin. One is Himalayan drainage basin and another one is peninsular drainage basin. So hopefully the classification for the Indian drainage on the basis of origin, nature and characteristics of Indian drainage is clear to everybody. That is Himalayan drainage basin and peninsular drainage basin. So I have completed the class for today. I have discussed about the key words. It will be there in your copy the way I am presenting it. Secondly, the next comes the drainage patterns, the factors that are influencing the drainage pattern, and the four types of the drainage patterns. It is compulsory to draw the diagrammatic representation of all the four drainage patterns in your copy the way I did it in the slide. And thirdly, the classification of the Indian drainage system. If you can explain or if you can show it roughly by drawing a small map of India, and you can show the first classification, that is the Arabian Sea discharge and the Bay of Bengal discharge, and the third classification, that is Himalayan drainage and the peninsular drainage. Now if you are having any doubts for today's class, without any hesitation just mention it in the comment section, and thank you for following today's class. Have a nice day.